Good morning, welcome to Mark Outdoors. So it's been a little while since my last review. Today I've got something called the Lansky Electrician's knife. I'm not an electrician by trade, but this was on Henny Haynes' website for $5.95. It was down from $12.95.
Shut up and take my money!
It's a slip joint design. It's not legal to carry in the UK because the blade is 8.5 centimeters long. The UK legal limit is 3 inches or 7.5, so that's a centimetre over. I thought for $5.95 it might be worth a punt just to have a little look at. It's got a few cutting edges on this. You've got like this flat cutting edge, sheep's foot. You've then got like it's supposed to be for stripping wires, and there's another cutting notch just at the back. And I was intrigued to see whether you could actually strike a fire steel with one of those edges. So let's get out the packet and have a look at it. Frustration-free packaging. This is not. I say very cheap, $5.95. As you see, I'm normally a avid Victorinox fan. I've normally got one of those on me. But for the price, I thought give it a whirl. Never know. It might be something you could put in one of your possibles bag, in your bug out bag, just as something to have. The blade steel is 420 HC, so 420 high carbon. It is made in China. The handle is a very thick plastic. It's surprisingly weighty, the handle on this. There's no liners on it. There's no skeletonized steel liners or anything. It's a very, very loose lock up. Very loose. It's not going to take much effort to get that to disengage. The cutting edges are absolutely fine. I say the blade thickness is about on par with a Victorinox penknife. So I really like the handle. I've got quite big hands and it fills my hand really well. So in terms of sharpness, it's just some dead wood I found. She's sharp enough to get some whittling done. Again, you can push down, get some push cuts, and you start getting some slithers if you're planning on making feather sticks. I knew this would be fine. The blade's so thin, it's just going to be quite easy to get in amongst it all and do some fine little cuts. So it is possible, if you've got a bigger piece of wood, obviously, if you want to do some feather sticking, you can do that. Again, go careful. This is very light pressure from my thumb. It's a very, very light engagement on the blade. You've got your wire cutting notches there, and if I find my fire steel, I should close the blade first. Will it strike a fire steel on the back of the spine? Let's find out. Yes, it will. Not very well, but it will. There we go, it's better. So you can use the spine of the knife, so I don't need to use that cutting edge on the bottom, which is nice. So we can save that little edge there just for a little bit of notching, maybe cordage cutting, that kind of thing. I'm quite impressed with that. $5.95. I don't know the weight on it. I've not looked into the weight of it, but it's, I don't know, 100 grams, if that, something like that. But I'm really chuffed that you can strike a fire steel with this in the closed position. Obviously, so it's not going to snapshot on your fingers. That's quite a nice touch. So you can easily get some tinder going with that, and it's not really dinged up the edge on the blade either. So it's a possibility. So that's brilliant. That'll save you using one of these crappy fire strikers all the time. Could you batten with it? I'm going to say no. It's got such a light lock up on that. I suppose you could put it down like that, but again, if you're going to be using something to batten a piece of wood, I would suggest a fixed blade every single time. Doesn't matter how strong the slip joint is or how strong your lock is. Locks are designed purely to stop the blade snapping shut on your fingers. They're not designed to be beaten on with a hammer or a stick. Again, $5.95 from Henny Haynes. Well worth a little look in the UK if you're just after a general purpose utility knife which will strike a fire steel and do some odd camp jobs. Not legal to carry in the UK, like I just explained earlier. You do get a nice little holder, so you can put a lanyard through it if you want to. Not bad, $5.95, give it a punt. See you on the next one.